The world's strongest man unexpectedly turned into a lowly, just because I took in 5 female disciples. Each one of them is a perverted woman with strong martial arts skills. When it comes to doing things, they are comparable to juicers. In order to protect my 2 endangered waistlines, I didn't hesitate at all. I just drank the gender-changing magic potion in one gulp. Back in the day, as the symbol of the god of light, I descended upon this continent, owning countless churches and believers, relying on the endless power of faith. From heaven to hell, almost unified the entire continent. The demons and evil spirits retreated beyond the borders and dared not trespass again. Unfortunately, in the past 2 years, I suddenly lost contact with the main god. My own magical power is constantly dissipating. Plus, the 5 disciples are crazily diluting my vitality. I know that I can't stay in this position anymore. The people of the demon clan know. They will definitely launch an attack on the empire in the future. It's also time for me to retire. Following the most secluded alleyway, I walked all the way into a mysterious alchemy shop. Boss, I ordered a potion to change my appearance. It's time for the delivery. The boss lady looked at me with a charming smile. Of course, customer, please wait a moment. At this moment in the temple's swimming pool, there are 5 stunning women bathing. Shania, the eldest disciple, was pinned against the wall by the second disciple Shui Ruzi. The usually calm and composed Shui Ruzi was now feeling impatient. As she inquired about Master Shania's whereabouts, the 5 disciples were watching the stimulating scene before them. Unconsciously, thoughts of their master filled their minds. Semi Fangtang was watching the blushing and heart-pounding viewing and directly embraced her from behind, while continuously imparting unsuitable knowledge to the children nearby. At this moment, Shania and Shui Ruzi exchanged a chilly glance. I mean, do you guys have nothing better to do? Is it because Master hasn't been living comfortably lately? The 3rd disciple suddenly hid into the embrace of the 4th disciple, Mumoxie, truly the most open-minded girl among all my disciples. In terms of breadth of mind, Mumoxie comforted the 2 lolas while exiting the battlefield. At the same time, Shui Ruzi spoke up and said, Master has been intentionally avoiding us lately. This time, he just disappeared directly. You better come clean. Is Master's disappearance related to you? Shania also forcefully pinched Shui Ruzi's face. Since you've noticed that Master is acting strange, have you ever considered that it might be her problem? If you care so much about Master, why don't you go find her yourself? Stop using your brain to speculate about others all the time. Shui Ruzi also began to have doubts for a moment. It seems that Shania really doesn't know where Master is. But this is exactly Shania's trap. After the investigation in the past few days, Master's power has declined to the point of being unable to take care of himself. Master, oh Master, blame yourself for exposing your weakness. Tonight I will make you my pet. Just on the other side, I actually fell directly from high altitude. Damn it, now, can't even maintain the most basic flying technique. Luckily my potion didn't break. I never thought that even I, a mighty deity, would have to change my appearance and live in hiding, living in misery and disgrace. Fortunately, I still have 5 disciples with powerful skills, who can protect me in my later years. Just been too busy customizing potions and neglected everyone lately. I should sneak back through the back door at this time, so as not to provoke everyone's anger. But as soon as I pushed open the door, I saw my eldest disciple Shania already poised for action. Holy cow, what are you up to, eldest disciple? After learning that my powers had dissipated, he directly blocked me at the castle gate. Master, I've been waiting for you for so long. You finally came back. I turned my head in a fluster. This damn traitor. When did he become so bold? This eldest disciple is a succubus by nature. Coupled with such charming words from him, I can't hold back the surge of desire anymore. Master, where have you been all this time? Your disciple has missed you so much. Shania took advantage of my distraction and directly put the collar around my neck. My dear master, now you can't escape, you despicable traitor. Welcome home. Master, is it to put the collar on? If you keep this up, I won't be polite anymore. Shania heard this. Instead, she showed a face of regret. Master, are you indulging in your disciple's nonsense? Or are you simply powerless to resist your disciple? Otherwise, why have you been resisting with your body from the beginning to the end? Without using any spells at all? I couldn't help but shiver. Oh no, this guy must have found out about my situation. The next second, Shania's stunning face was right in front of me. You just stay obediently by your disciple's side. Be a good puppy for your disciple. Your disciple won't mistreat you. I immediately pointed behind and shouted loudly, Shuiruzi, why are you here too? Shania immediately furrowed her brows. Then her expression changed at lightning speed. Shuiruzi, listen to my explanation. I was just about to explain. Shania then realized that there was no one behind her. Moreover, I've already taken advantage of this time to escape. I can't afford to waste any time. I immediately took out the transformation potion. I didn't expect this moment to come so suddenly. Even as a powerful man like me, at this moment, I hesitate. After all, the alchemist boss lady said, as long as I drink the potion, I can never turn back into a man again. Suddenly, a heavy sword pierced straight through the ground. Shania looked at me with a mocking expression as I ran away. My dear master, do you really think you can escape from my grasp tonight? Oh no. As this guy caught up so quickly, it looks like if he catches me tonight, not even 10 livers would be enough. The next moment, as I opened the bottle cap, I drank it all in one gulp. Suddenly, I felt a sharp pain in my heart. Then I spat out blood from 82 years ago. This potion is not right. Why am I feeling so uncomfortable? Could that old witch be selling fake medicine? My body seems to have shrunk. Why does it feel so empty between my legs? It's like there's a burning flame on my body, scorching hot. Shania arrived in front of me at this moment. Damn it, why does this kid have the scent of my master? This kid seems to have some resemblance to my master. Why is the chest still soft? Holy cow. I gradually opened my eyes at this moment. The first night as a delicate little girl, I was pinned down by my senior apprentice Nazy. Not very chaste. The full moon hangs in the sky. The night has grown late. At this moment, inside a grand and luxurious bedroom, even though I have already woken up. Still in 8 days. What on earth is going on? Who's pinning me down? I managed to sit up after a struggle. Saw something incredible. Whose little girl is this? Why is she so cute? What the? Where did my bro go with his stiffy swagger? How could this happen? Could it be that even my bro? Damn. Where did the bossy lady go? How did I end up like this? Even my brother was killed. This enmity is irreconcilable. And why is this Nez sleeping next to me? The situation is critical now. I never expected that I, a divine being, would end up in this state. It seems as after fainting last night, brought back by this traitor. I have no magic power around me now. It's just dangerous. I must escape before she wakes up. I've only taken 2 steps forward when I hear a light sound behind me. Little one, where do you think you're running off to? This frail body is unexpectedly pulled lightly by someone. Just fell to the ground. Looks like I have to face the fear head on. I worked so hard to save you last night. You're in a sorry state now. You're planning to run away without even saying thank you? Is this how you repay my kindness? You sleepy little brat. Damn it. What is this traitor saying? What's with the yawning? Do you really think I'm easy to mess with? You traitor. Looks like you need a good beating. Is this how Webster usually teaches you? This tone made Nacy feel a tingling sensation all over. Then my slaps kept coming one after another. I'll make you wear a collar for me. I let you have an arrogant attitude, betraying the master and destroying the ancestor. What's with the yawning? Just randomly picking a name to use as a master. Is it the little dog you adopted? Nacy's eyes were filled with tears. It's not the bottle you're carrying. Isn't this the name you wrote? I brought you back out of kindness, afraid that you'd be taken by bad people. Hey, the one on the medicine bottle is Guyu. Am I being mistaken for my name by this idiot? Damn it. So that's how it is. Does she not even know who I am? The next second, I patiently came to my senses, roaring with gritted teeth. What do you mean by saying that the traitor and the master? My master is a legend in this land, the incarnation of the god that everyone admires. You little devil. How dare you call yourself my master? The punishment just now, it even made this lady lose her composure. Miss Nimon, wait a moment, since we don't know each other. Why did you still bring me back? What's wrong? Are you pretending to be ignorant? You little devil, inherently charming. Don't you know that your appearance will bring disaster to the world? Of course. I brought you back to protect you. As a trade, you'll stay here for the rest of your life. What is this Nazi talking about? Damn, my ears are so itchy from being blown on. No, absolutely not. Little girl, don't push your luck. What nonsense about being inherently charming. I will never submit to you. Just on the other side, second disciple Hoshino Ran appears. Move. The Holy Knight Legion searched all the nearby villages. They didn't find my trace in the towns either. Is there anything unusual on Nacy's side? What has she been doing at the ancient castle recently? The nervous Noon behind recalls. Lady Nazy hasn't left the ancient castle these days, but the castle's guards have increased significantly. Even our informants find it difficult to send messages back. Naster has disappeared at this point. Will this demoness really just sit and wait for death? Damn, something's not right. There must be something fishy about this. Afraid she's deceiving us. Send the paladin to the ancient castle immediately. Don't overlook any slightest movement. Damn demoness, what secrets are you hiding? The strongest man, incarnation of a god, unexpectedly transformed into a white-haired loli, suddenly became naturally charming and irresistible to everyone. And it's only the first day. Already pinned down by my disciple on the first day. Did some unspeakable things. At that moment, I almost lost consciousness myself. When I came to my senses, the crazy scene just now kept appearing in my mind. Why is my body out of control? You traitor, you drugged me. Is that so? Nazy immediately covered my mouth. You are naturally charming yourself. Naturally. This is the result after being infused with magic. Don't speak so loudly. I've been exercising for so long just now. Your small frame must be hungry too. You wait here. I'll prepare some food for you. Now I've become a lovable person. My magical power has completely disappeared. This is really unfortunate. I was planning to live the rest of my life quietly. Looks like that's not possible now. The way I look now, if people find out that I'm actually a god incarnate, the legend of the country, wouldn't that be a cause for ridicule? Maxie shouldn't be around here. Run first, talk later. Once I'm free, I'll definitely find a way to get out of this predicament. Suddenly, a flying knife whizzed through the air and directly pinned itself to the wooden door behind me. I was just about to explain when several more flying knives came rushing towards me. You little sleepyhead, where do you think you're running off to? What are you running off to? Don't talk nonsense. I'm just wandering around. Alright, that's perfect then. You go ahead and eat this bowl of feed. Nancy tossed over a bowl of unidentified liquid claiming to be feed. This is the dinner bestowed upon you by yours truly. You should drink it all with gratitude. Damn, this bowl of stuff doesn't look like something a person should eat. What do you mean feed? This damn rebel. They really treat me like a pet. Looking at my hesitant expression, Nancy had a mischievous grin on her face. What's wrong? Sleepyhead. Still a picky eater. Looks like I'll have to feed you myself. Nancy stretched her foot directly into the bowl after speaking. Come on, eat up the food on my foot. This is the master's gift. What's wrong? Do you dare to disobey my command? Damn it, when did my disciple become so stubborn and rude? I am the incarnation of a deity. Do I really have to eat it? It looks so unsanitary. Will it give me diarrhea if I eat it? But if I don't eat it, I don't look like a little girl facing coercion. Forget it. I'll just go for it. Nancy suddenly retracted her foot. If I tell you to eat, you eat. What a despicable little brat. I was completely dumbfounded. Didn't you tell me to eat it? Is my foolish apprentice having a mental breakdown? But the next moment, Nancy waved her hands, and a table full of delicious food and wine appeared. I was just joking with you. Here's the dinner I prepared for you. Looks like it's confirmed. This damn traitor is really having a mental breakdown. Wait, something's not right. This is really not right. And these foods, It turns out they're all the ones I usually remind you to eat and not to eat. Could it be that? She wants to test my true identity with this. I was angry just now because I behaved so humbly, impatiently tapped the table. What's wrong? Hurry up and eat. Or is it that all these delicious foods don't suit your taste? As expected, this traitor is confirming my identity as a Nikajiri. But whenever I subconsciously pick up the habit, I'm going to suffer when I eat. It's really a treacherous world. As the incarnation of a god, I almost fell for it. The strongest man in the world actually turned into a white-haired loli. As a result, on the first day, I was seduced by the demon disciple. Did something unspeakable, because Nexi suspected that this white-haired loli was her long-awaited master. I almost fell into the trap of this rebel. I immediately gathered my courage and walked up. Before the master dined, how could a loli's servant like me eat first? With that said, I stripped off my clothes, even put all kinds of delicacies on myself, shamelessly begged Nexi to take action against me. As a result, these despicable actions immediately angered Nexi. You shameless little devil. Seeing the scheme succeed, I even hummed a tune in front of her. After all, I had known for a long time, this Nexi has a serious emotional cleanliness obsession. Before she confirmed my true identity, all of my actions were just a bluff. Stupid devil, you don't even think about why I can be your master. At this moment, Nexi is also undecided. Where did this disclosure come from? Could this little devil really not be the master? But the next second, Nexi smirked wickedly. In any case, no matter how advanced the transformation technique is, it cannot change certain physical features. With that, she slapped the table in frustration. You little brat, I see that your clothes are a bit worn out. How about we get you a new outfit? The next second, she handed me a set of close-fitting clothes. What the heck is this? You want to change my clothes? Clearly, you just want to ransack my nest. Thank you for your kindness, but I think my clothes are already fine. I was about to escape when Nexi grabbed my ankle. How can this be? A servant should listen to the master. I reacted instinctively and knocked Nexi down. At this moment, Nexi's face suddenly turned red. I didn't expect that she had already put her hand on the forbidden area. Nexi suddenly sat up. Something's not right. Something's really not right. Why is it so flat? Nexi still doesn't believe it. The white-haired loli in front of me is not my master. Then she grabbed my neck. Tell me quickly who you are. Why do you know so much? How dare you call me a traitor? I immediately explained. Is there a possibility? I'm Michael's sister. Let's talk things out. Nexi let go of me in an instant. Nonsense. I've never heard of Master having a sister. It's okay if you don't want to confess. I can't believe I set up so many traps to catch you. But you should recognize this thing, right? My pupils went haywire for a moment. How did this bottle end up in the hands of the traitor? Last night, I was preparing to pay my respects to the master. I saw her turn around and drink something. When I caught up to her, I ran into her. You little rascal, you seem a bit nervous, don't you? Don't talk nonsense. I don't know this bottle at all. Nessie said slowly. I've taken the remaining potion to the Research Institute for analysis. If I find out you're lying, I will make you beg for mercy. You won't be able to beg for death. By the way, the potion was delivered to the laboratory this morning. In other words, we'll get the analysis data early the day after tomorrow. I was suddenly startled. Holy cow, this is bad. I won't be forcibly drained by her, will I? The world's strongest man turned into a woman. After the white-haired little loli, she tragically falls victim to the apprentice seductress's poison hand. She thought she could escape from the castle and bid farewell to her life in the juicer. But just after reciting the lines from the Shawshank Redemption, she was immediately caught by the second apprentice. Nancy's return time is already urgent. Fortunately, I secretly hid a soup spoon while eating. Now, even without magic, it's fine. Even my body is a white-haired little loli. If only I could have my 8-pack ABS back. Digging through this broken castle is just a matter of minutes. After all, I am the incarnation of the god of light. The mere castle still wants to trap me. Just at this moment, the door of the ancient castle creaked open. Nancy looked at the report, impatiently rushed into my room. The sound of footsteps directly reached the underground with a patter. Damn. What the hell? I just took a break and you're already back. If I get caught this time, I'll be skinned alive for sure. Pretty please, please don't catch me. May the god of light bless me. Mijali, will never forget your great kindness and grace. Said in the letter sent back from the Research Institute. The composition of the potion is too complex. Perhaps it can only be analyzed by sending it to the world's largest research institute. But after a simple experiment, I found out that the potion can indeed slightly alter a person's appearance. But the change in appearance is not significant. Nexie doesn't care about that. The last paragraph is what she wants to see, even though I didn't get 100% conclusion. But I insist that it has been analyzed. You can't doubt anything just because you're sleepy, right? Starting from today, I want to enjoy you every moment. My dear, feeling sleepy, not good. Should I say it's Master Shizen? Master, I'm back. Just as Nexie pushed open the door, I also dug through the last layer of the tunnel. Nexie looked at the empty room, suddenly silent. What's this hole? What's going on? Why is it like this? My sleepy master, how did you escape? On the other side, I feel the coolness of raindrops falling on my face. Is this what freedom feels like? Ha ha ha, I finally escaped from the maze. The maid in charge of guarding immediately cowed out. Apologize quickly. Near the castle, it seems that there are many more knights of the temple nearby. I'll tell you something, even my master doesn't know. Unaware, I am the true embodiment of a demon god. Next second, my loud roar attracted the nearby knights. No one else knows the secret. Now the entire forest is filled with my scent. As long as she goes out, she will be taken away by the temple knights as a demon god. I looked at it unawares, with an angry look. Sure enough, the two immediately took action and handcuffed me. You, the hound filled with the breath of the demon god. Be honest, come back to the temple with us and face judgment. I was immediately angry at the formal language. You're just talking nonsense. Where did the breath of the demon god come from? Next, it's the final showdown between Nazi and Hoshino Ran. Before long, I was taken to the temple. The knights suddenly forced me to kneel. Archmage, this little devil is the one we brought back from near the castle. She is filled with a strong demon god's breath. We suspect she is a minion of the evil god. Hoshino Ran blinked and said, the breath of the demon god. Little one, lift your head and let me see. Damn it, is the temple always so unreasonable now? I've only been away for a few months. I couldn't stay calm once I saw who it was. I'm Hoshino Ran. Is it really you? Master, I've been searching for you so hard. I excitedly hugged her thigh. You fools, treating me as the lackey of the demon, even led me all the way here. Hurry and save me, my good disciple. The knights were immediately stunned by the words. Daring to show disrespect to the great mage, immediately release your hand. Hoshino Ran quickly reached out to stop the knights. Everyone, don't act rashly. Let me confirm the identity of this little girl. The next moment, Hoshino Ran looked at me with a gentle expression. Don't be afraid. You just called me disciple. In that case, are you thinking that I could escape from the succubus's clutches and retire in peace? I never expected this second disciple to be a Yander girl. Without a word, she threw me into the dungeon. Hoshino Ran comforted me with a gentle expression, telling me not to be afraid. You just said you are my master. In that case, are you implying differential treatment between me and Nasi? My eyes involuntarily turned red. Sure enough, it's still my gentle and lovely precious second disciple. Smart and sensible. That's right, my good disciple. This is the high-level sanctuary, the incarnation of the god of light in the mortal world, the living legend of the Lumia kingdom. That's your master, Lord Mikari. Hoshino Ran was stunned on the spot, but the next second, the holy knights couldn't help it. You, a lackey covered in the aura of the devil, dare to impersonate Lord Mikari's name. I think you're asking for death. Hoshino Ran immediately stood up, stopped the movement in the hands of the heavy knight. Master's magical power is strong. It's not impossible to transform into a little girl. It's just that the magic imprint of the god of light on the body will definitely not be extinguished. So please everyone remain calm. I'll use magic to investigate the transformation. Before I could react, a surge of icy magical power, rushing madly towards me. The new clothes I've been wearing for decades were suddenly disintegrated by the beam of light. As the magical wave slowly dissipated, I suddenly realized that I was now exposed naked in front of everyone. At this moment, Din Yoan suddenly reached out to me. Don't be afraid. It's okay. I'm just checking your body. The following will be hard for all the knights. Don't peek after I'm gone. This is bad. Although, it's not Naxi. This idiot can't distinguish patterns. Din Yoan is a genius magician I've raised since childhood. But these few days, the holy stigma first experienced the erosion of the potion, and then was ravaged by the succubus Naxi in every possible way. I wonder if Hoshino Ran can tell the difference. Just then, the sapphire on Hoshino Ran's chest suddenly emitted a faint light. The next second, Hoshino Ran's whole body, all were drawn over by a strong force. This feeling can't be wrong. The holy stigma is actually calling for the magic power inside me. I didn't expect this little girl to be the master. This time I really hit the jackpot. It's like finding something without searching for it. It's all effortless. Alright, I've already finished making it. Hard work, knights. Immediately capture this imposter pretending to be Lady Mijiali. Press down and lock up in the deepest dungeon. Just escape from the eyes. I'm about to be thrown into another prison. I immediately cursed at Hoshino Ran. You traitor. What are you babbling about? You definitely recognize me, right? Stop joking with me, master. The paladin saw me still talking nonsense. Immediately slapped me twice. Master. Oh master. I didn't expect you to come to me voluntarily. Lock you up in the dungeon. The other disciples can't reach you. Let's settle our old scores properly. This time, you can't escape from my grasp. But where did she acquire this demonic aura? According to the knight, she was found near Naci's house. Could it be that this Naci is truly a demonic deity? Within the ancient castle at this moment, May respectfully bowed. My lord, that person is urging you again. Upon hearing Naci's words, he suddenly sat up with a swish. Are you referring to my father? The strongest man in the world has actually turned into a nobody. The white-haired little loli with the strength of binding chickens. On the first day, was seduced by the demon's senior apprentice and did some indescribable things, thinking that I could retire in peace after escaping from danger. But I didn't expect the seemingly pure second apprentice to be even more perverted than the perverts. Naci ignited a magic book in the furnace. The next moment, a tall flame demon stood up. Naci just looked hollowly at the demon in front of her. Shouted, Father, Naci, my child, you haven't forgotten your mission, have you? Naci clenched her fist tightly, then answered lightly, I haven't forgotten. Then why haven't you made a move? Do you know, your brother, your kin, and your father? I'm trapped in that frigid seal every day. It's all because of that despicable man. Does father know? Back then, I sent you to infiltrate her alone, treated you unfairly. But now, only you can bear the responsibility of saving our people. Naci gave the demon's hand a cold glance. Then she swatted away, saying, I know all about these. I will never go back on my promise. I know what needs to be done. Don't come looking for me if there's nothing important in the future, so as not to arouse suspicion from the people at the temple. Tonight I will find a way to catch her. I didn't expect that their conversation at this moment was heard by someone in the dark. Naci, I knew you were not clean. Hey, are we going to act tonight? Just on the other side, I was stripped naked and thrown into the so-called dungeon. Looking at myself in the mirror, I couldn't help but feel, now I've really turned into a girl. But this place is called a dungeon. Why does it look like a hot spring pool? Just then, Natsuno Ran pushed open the door here. Master, where are you going? A sudden voice made me shudder. Where can I go? Master, just wandering around. But the next second, I suddenly came to my senses. Wait, Could you just call me Master? Natsuno ran. Have you recognized me as your master? Natsuno ran lightly flicked her hair. Of course. No matter what the master looks like, I can still recognize you. You really recognize me. And then had someone throw me into the dungeon. Natsuno ran looked at me with a smile and said, the master must have his own reasons for changing like this. I can't let this matter become known to the world, right? But master, why didn't you cancel the transformation at that time? Is it really as rumored? You're not running out of magic power, are you? Can only maintain this body. Can't change back anymore, right? Damn it. Why? Natsuno ran now speaks with a hint of conspiracy. I just don't believe it. This obedient disciple still isn't afraid of me. Natsuno ran. Are you questioning me? I just temporarily like this form. That's all. Of course. I'm not a pervert. I'm just curious. Suddenly, Natsuno ran picked me up in her arms. How can a girl be so dirty? As your disciple, I'll definitely help you clean up. Besides, Master, you say you like this form, but you definitely don't know how girls take a bath, right? Hoshino ran spread the shower gel on my back and rubbed vigorously. This way, your disciple will also benefit. I'll teach you the way we girls clean up. This is also a good opportunity for your disciple to show respect to Master. Hoshino ran looked at me with an expression of unbearable discomfort. Unbelievably enjoyable. That's the expression. Master, you're so cute. The strongest man in the world actually changed. Became a weak little white-haired loli with no strength at all. Only then did I realize my beloved disciple, whom I raised since childhood, turns out it's a spy from the demon clan. During that time, I was completely defenseless. Fiercely humiliated me. Thought I could escape from this. I thought I could retire peacefully in the palm of my succubus disciple. But unexpectedly, my always obedient and considerate second disciple turned rebellious and tortured me from head to toe. Master's small body is so adorable. I like it so much. Just like a little animal. Stay with me forever. Hoshino ran recalls the past. I was still that lofty, the majestic and solemn strongest man of the Imperial Empire. Master is strict, the master who often punishes his disciples. In my hands, my own but has never had a good day. As a result, now it has become this cute appearance that can be slaughtered at will, and even fell into the trap, actively coming to me, looking so pitiful. It seems like it wants to be bullied. Can't help it. I must bully my master all over. Alright, Master, the front is almost clean now. Now let me help you. Master, clean up the dirt at the back. The silky touch makes my body tremble. Can't handle the back. Stop it, traitor. I told you not to wash there. You idiot, traitor. Hurry and stop, for Master. If you keep this up, Master won't be able to bear it. Just now I was fantasizing about us bathing together as Master and disciple. It would be a heartwarming scene. Isn't this just pure revenge now? Why did I end up raising these traitors? Suddenly, Shinjailan snapped her fingers. She activated a spell formation. The next moment, the water in the pool seemed to come alive. It kept entwining and searching around me. Shinjailan, what are you up to? I'm begging you. That place really won't do. Shinjailan had a wicked grin on her face. Never intended to stop the movement in my hands. Master, be good. This is the only way to clean the dirt thoroughly. The dirt on the corners must not be overlooked. I must be a clean and tidy little girl. Oh, I can see that Master must be very tired recently. Next, let me give Master a good massage to relax. Let's give a good massage to relax Master. Then it's a set of smooth and flowing heavy blows. This is not some heartwarming treasure. My disciple's next move against me is deadly. If you didn't know, you'd think this is beating up an enemy. Suddenly, Denyi Lan smirked at me. Alright, Master, finally, let's relax here too. After saying all this, Crossing Yilan looked at me with a sickly sweet expression. If Master's power really runs out completely, then won't I be able to bully you every day from now on? I must personally verify it. Then she took out a bottle of mysterious potion from the spell formation. Alright, Master, hurry and get up. The final step, let's rub our bodies with essential oil. I struggled to get up from the ground. I thought I finally made it through. Unexpectedly, it's crossing Yulan again. The tool she used to test the speed of my power loss. Master, just sit here obediently. Your disciple will help you complete the final step. Then you can stay by my side forever. That's when I realized something was wrong. Why is this essential oil the same as the one Nazi used? Crossing Yulan. Stop right there. I really can't continue anymore. My body suddenly started to expand rapidly. Crossing Yulan also noticed something was amiss. In the blink of an eye, my body had already grown larger than Crossing Yulan pressing down on me. Crossing Yulan blushed instantly upon seeing the situation. Master, what's wrong with you? I just infused a bit of magic into it. It was at this moment that strange movement suddenly appeared. Outside the window, a faint magical aura emerged. Crossing Yulan made a hushing gesture near his mouth. Then he pushed me into the pool. A delicate foot landed on the window. Long time no see, my precious junior sister. Din Yulan and I were both stunned in place. Why did this woman have to appear at this moment? As the strongest man in the world, I found myself caught in a showdown between two lovesick women. My second disciple wants to have me all to herself for my beauty. She actually forcibly hid me in the pool under her body. Second disciple is using all means to regain the right to discipline me, and even resorted to both hands and feet against Din Yulan, trying to expose the location where I was hiding. Din Yulan saw Nacy, the appearance of a scheming person on her own territory, directly forced me between her legs. I faintly feel that something bad is about to happen, because after Nacy came into contact with my form earlier, she became very strange. Watching Nacy step by step towards the pool, Din Yulan looks guilty and dare not move, and for some reason, my body seems to be getting hotter and hotter. Junior sister is really elegant and leisurely. Now that Master is missing, you still have the mood to take a bath here. Or have you already hidden Master away? After saying that, Nacy directly lifted Xinyan from behind, trying to catch a glimpse of my trace in the water. Nacy wants to struggle and resist in her heart, but for some reason, I couldn't muster any strength in my body. I desperately tried to pull myself together in the water, afraid of being dragged back to her ancient castle by Nacy. Little did I know, at this moment, I myself am like a walking sow. You're driving me crazy, Xinyan. After all, we're loving sisters who grew up together. Isn't it a bit excessive for you to monopolize Master all by yourself? Xinyan glanced at Nacy in the hot night. What? Not fighting. Relying on the power of Master. How could we possibly catch her? Nacy's face was full of playful blood and approached. What are you pretending to be confused about here? Among us disciples, how many don't want to monopolize Master? What about the Master's power? She has long been deficient in spells, taking on the appearance of a little girl. Can't even change back anymore. Xinyan had just not had time to finish testing. I didn't expect to get a definite answer from Nacy here. She became anxious, clamping her legs tighter together. I could barely hold my breath anymore. I blew into Xinjilan's belly button. Xinjilan couldn't hold it in anymore. Let out a sigh. This subtle movement was still noticed by Nacy. I said, Junior sister, why don't you just hand over the Master? It wouldn't be bad if the two of us trained together. Just at this moment, Xinjilan's rationality had almost evaporated. The next second, she jumped out of the water, grabbed Nacy's clothes, caught off guard, and kissed Nacy's little mouth. Nacy reacted, immediately broke free. Xinjilan, are you crazy? Do you know what you're doing? At this moment, Nacy also sensed something unusual. The usual Xinjilan has always been gentle and plain. It's impossible to use such means to force me back. And she looks off now. Why does this look familiar? Oh my gosh, isn't this the sign of internal infection? The next moment, Nacy looked at the water pool with a wicked smile on her face. My dear Master, so you were indeed hiding here. Seeing this, I almost sprayed out the remaining air in my mouth. Upon hearing this, Din Yulan also immediately regained some sanity, as the incarnation of the god of light in the human realm unexpectedly experienced a sudden depletion of power and turned into a helpless little white-haired loli. The disciple who was raised with great effort and care was supposed to provide me with peace in my old age. But unexpectedly, both of these rebels want to train my sickly girl. Nymphomaniac. Nexi noticed the signs of infection in Shinji Lan's sister's bones and immediately burst into laughter by the pool. My treasure. Master actually dares to hide under another girl. I must take you back. Only by training can you become an obedient master. I watched as Nexi continued to explore ahead with his wandering hands. My heart trembled, holding Shinji Lan's long legs tighter. This is bad. If Nexi catches you, you'll be in big trouble. Shinji Lan, you must protect the master. Nexi looked as if his evil plan had succeeded, thinking that even Shinji Lan would be helpless now. But in the next second, Nexi's expression froze. What's going on? Why isn't it here? Clearly the breath lock was just nearby. Shinji Lan revealed a subtly wicked smile. I saw my body rapidly shrinking in the water. Then I transformed into the appearance of a puddle of water dragon. It's not an exaggeration to say that I completely disappeared in the water. I didn't expect Shinji Lan's weird magic to come in handy. Really useful. What are you doing, senior sister? I've already said that the master is not here. Moreover, even if I really find the master, given our relationship, can I still hide it from you? Shinji Lan sighed with relief. After transforming my form, that kind of blank mind. The overall heat in my body has obviously eased a lot. After saying that, Shinji Lan continued to speak to Nazi with an unquestionable look on her face. Senior sister, since you care so much about whether the master is in this pool, why don't we go down together and take a look? Nazi hadn't reacted yet and was dragged into the water by Shinji Lan. Then, she glanced at me inadvertently. She kicked me into the deep end of the pool with one foot. Nazi nervously clutched the powder puff tightly. The clothes I had just changed into, now they were soaked in water again. Shinji Lan mischievously cupped Nazi's face in her hands. How is it, senior sister? Did you see that the master is not here? Nazi was so anxious to release the spell. But the next moment, Shinji Lan snuffed it out. Don't be so hasty. Nazi, I finally understand. Clearly the master is not here with me, yet you chose to disturb me while I was bathing, causing trouble by coming over here. Could it be impatience? Do you have any different feelings for me? Or is it, senior sister, do you like peeping in other people's bodies so much? Nazi was tightly embraced by Shinji Lan. Her face turned red to the tips of her ears. Hurry up and get out of here. Shinji Lan, I never thought you were actually a big pervert. Even if I like cute girls, I wouldn't be interested in a nympho like you. Nazi emerged from the water in a sorry state, but failed to steal the show, and was then thoroughly teased by Shinji Lan. Her expression was as distressed as if she had eaten the caddies of pork and gone mad. Damn it, how could Shinji Lan say such provocative words? And her appearance just now, clearly showing signs of coquetry. After saying that, she left behind a clone, hidden within this hull. Shinji Lan. Shinji Lan is really a silly little ghost at heart, thinking of deceiving me. Not even a door. Shinji Lan ran away. Since the master really isn't here, then I have no reason to stay either. But I still have to remind you, senior sister, master has lost his powers now. Another person is outside. You are also aware, master has quite a few enemies outside, right? Please spend more effort searching for her. Old man, don't let her fall into danger. With a bang, Naxi closed the door. Hoshino Ran still had some doubts. Master is clearly the strongest legend in the Empire. How could this happen suddenly? Power depleted. No, I must personally test it out. With that, Hoshino Ran lifted me up, while I was still caught off guard. Placed a magic stone on the forehead. The next moment, the magic stone completed the monitoring. All the values were unbelievably low, completely like an ordinary little girl, only possessing combat power. I said, Master, can you explain why it turned out like this? Naxi, hiding in the corner, couldn't help but sneer. Can't even detect a mere remnant. What kind of high-level mage are you? And my dear master, you are indeed here, the strongest man in the world, transformed into a powerless little white-haired girl, but ended up as a plaything in the hands of her disciple. After Hoshino Ran left Naxi, Thought I could enjoy my master alone, but Naxi's clone was hiding in the dark, observing every move of Hoshino Ran. My dear master, now no one is disturbing our world of two. I saw Hoshino Ran with an eager expression. Couldn't help but shudder. Hoshino Ran's master has not lost his power. It must be because your broken stone malfunctioned. Hoshino Ran looked at me in a panic, but instead became even more excited. Master, do you still remember when I was young? How you taught me? Back then, Master was strict and disciplined. There was no mercy for the disciples behind. This favor clearly left on the disciple's skin. The disciple cannot forget it at all. Didn't expect that. Now the master has become a powerless child. Then as a good disciple of mine, I should also fulfill the duty of teaching the master. Said and done. Dingy Lan easily lifted me out of the pool. From today on, master, you are the only plaything of this disciple. And at this moment, a familiar figure suddenly appeared. Okay, Dingy Lan, I knew the master was hidden by you alone. Dingy Lan pointed at Nazi and cursed loudly. Didn't you? The demoness leave long ago. Nazi smirked at the words. Junior sister, where did you hear that? Am I not allowed to use tricks? Can I be cautious? And you just said you want to enjoy it alone. Master, let's see if you have the ability. After speaking, Nazi burst out with a bewitching power. Kissed on Xinye Lan's forehead. The next second, Xinye Lan's eyes were filled with hearts. Lord Mage, you must have been very tired these days. Let us help you relax properly. Around Xinye Lan, 3 figures appeared out of thin air. Charmed demons with the same appearance as Nazi. Then used bewitching power to trap her firmly in place. Then I thank my junior sister for taking care of my master for me. And you, my good master, don't you have anything you want to say to me? My weak body trembled under Nacy's gaze. Shivering, Xinye Lan, listen to me. I didn't want to escape last time, but the spoon dug the hole itself. Everything has a spirit. You should know that, right? Nazi smirked at my words, then turned away with a wicked smile. Twisted around, just realized the direction of escape had a water escape. The next second, Nazi was pushed back by a force field. Fell from the sky. I, the strongest man in the human realm, just fell flat on my butt like a dog eating mud. Xinye Lan sounded very displeased. What a load of illusion. As far as I can see, this is probably the charm technique of the Meza clan. I never expected you, Nazi, to willingly fall into depravity. Studying dark magic. Today I will clean up the door for my master. You probably can't get out of this door. The next second, countless streams of water rushed towards Nazi. Nazi was bound in midair in the blink of an eye. I never expected you to be such a fool. The mage saw through it so quickly. I can't control you mentally. Then I'd like to see how you're going to crack this. In the blink of an eye, countless tentacles suddenly burst out of the ground and instantly bound Hoshino Ran. Nazi smirked evilly and said, "Don't think it's over yet. All the little must has come out for me." Facing the blue-haired idiot, bite her for me. Hoshino Ran couldn't break free in the first place. Now she's being surrounded from all directions. She quickly lost the ability to resist. Defeated, the water prison around Nazi gradually dissipated. I say, second junior sister, you're still a bit lacking compared to me. If there's nothing else, I'll take master away then. After saying that, Nazi took me and disappeared into the room. Hoshino Ran sighed inwardly at the sight. If Nazi has something to do with the demon, master will be in danger. After that, she shouted at the door. All the sisters of the holy temple gather. The sisters guarding outside, please come in immediately. As soon as she finished speaking, a sister flew in. Then a familiar figure fiercely kicked open the door. Hoshino Ran, you jerk, tell me quickly, where did you hide the master? Thinking of a long-lost reunion, expecting a warm and harmonious embrace. But this traitor not only disguised his identity, he also laid hands on my delicate body, under the pretext of a physical examination, claiming it's for after-sales service. The filial piety and etiquette have been missing for so many years. Just came back and tied up the master. As the second disciple of Mijiali, naturally cannot sit idly by. Even if I have to dig through the continent, I will find her. Just a little dragon girl. Can't turn the world upside down. Nashvin smiled and said, "Hey, I don't know who it is. Even the transformation technique of the filial piety tree can't see through her. If she really wants to hide from you, just change her identity and she can swagger around the continent. Even if you have extraordinary abilities, what can you do?" Hearing this, Hoshino Ram became anxious on the spot. "You, as the senior disciple, are you going to just let it go? Do you really want to ignore it?" I say, "Hoshino Ran, you really are just like a little devil. What's the rush?" Although Master is currently in the hands of Uncle Zexioli. But don't forget, the enchanting charm on Master's body can unknowingly cause cholera. Just keep an eye on the recent trouble spots. Isn't Master's clue just within reach? Right now, at the pagoda counted by Zexioli, a puff of smoke blew right onto my face. I suddenly woke up from a nightmare. NATO, this rebel will definitely run to Hoshino Ran and teach me a lesson. Don't let me see the person in front of me, but was stunned on the spot. "Little guy, just rest assured, your two disciples can't catch you now. You, isn't it the bad woman who sold me fake medicine back then? You stinky medicine seller. Why would I stay with you?" Zexioli said lightly. "Of course, I'm here to help my guest. Just rest assured, it's me disguised as your top disciple, rescuing you from the temple." Upon hearing this explanation, I suddenly realized it's quite something. The person who can make transformation medicine. My transformation technique must have some attainments, but I've only seen the stinky medicine seller twice. Why did you go to such lengths to rescue me? Little one, don't be afraid now. You're safe now. I was furious on the spot. You really have the nerve to say that. Ever since I drank your lousy potion, I've never had a good day. I clearly said I wanted to change my identity before, and you just went ahead and changed my gender. Now how am I supposed to face my ancestors? Zixao Lishu didn't listen to a word I said. Instead, he came over with great interest on his face. I actually turned into a girl completely, and so perfectly too. With a mocking look on her face, she said to me, "Isn't this a very successful transformation? At least visually, no one would recognize you." I never expected to have such a tragic experience. It didn't even make the scoundrel feel any remorse. What's even more infuriating is, why did you also give me the natural charm attribute? Do you know that I'm now a little girl? How dangerous is it? Li Shu chuckled lightly at the words. "Okay, I got it. So, isn't this me coming to provide after-sales service for you?" As a result, I was pushed down onto the bed by her without paying attention. "You don't need to be in a hurry. I'll check and then I'll know everything." Hearing this sentence, I'm completely desperate. Why does everyone have to check my body? Do I have no dignity at all? Li Shu found out with a smile. The charming mark perfectly merged with me. This preliminary proves her guess was correct. Ever since on the street, after hearing the rumors of Mijia Li's loss of power, Zijiao's account started to spread. The news of the black market selling transformation potions. She disguised herself as the shop owner using illusion techniques. Sure enough, she caught the guilty-looking Mijia Li. Mijia Li does indeed match the rumors. Lost her powers to see through her transformation technique. So, she handed over a problematic transformation potion. But this is not for the purpose of revenge. Zizi Li Shu just wants to investigate clearly the reason for Master's depleted powers. At this moment, I also remembered something terrifying. This stinky medicine seller actually knows several of my disciples so well. That means she knows my true identity. If this person is an enemy in disguise, then am I not in danger? At this critical moment, I suddenly came up with a good idea. I just need to activate the charm bone at this moment. I can create a good opportunity to escape. But now I have no power at all. I must find a way to regain my magic power. The rebellious disciple who has been separated for many years. I turned myself into a little white horse girl and disguised myself as a mysterious medicine. I was completely unaware of the boss lady at the water shop. But this bad woman in front of me knows me very well. She became suspicious. In order to get out of the embarrassing situation under her, I immediately started looking for a way to capture demons. The filial piety Li Shu was still there, checking his sister in a panic. I stared at the two meatballs in front of me and came up with a plan. Based on my 2.5 years of studying magic, practitioners will store emergency reserve magic in certain parts of their bodies. To store emergency backup magic power, a female cultivator who has mastered the art of transformation like her must be a touch crystal for sure. At this moment, just a little incantation guidance is needed to quickly capture. I bit down on Uncle Lee's arm without hesitation. The girl turned around and realized that her own magic power seemed to be devoured. Indeed, knowledge is power. In Uncle Lee's astonishment, a pink smoke exploded around me. After transforming twice, I figured it out. Sure enough, once magic is absorbed, the charm bone switches forms. Although I don't want to do such despicable things. Who made the stinky medicine seller so amazing? But it's still a bit embarrassing in this form. Next, you have to stick to me like those rebels, uncontrollably sticking to me. Let's see how you can control me. Unexpectedly, underneath, Zixao Li Shu quickly regained consciousness after a brief embarrassment. He immediately came to his senses. So you can really transform into this form. I was stunned on the spot. What's going on? You shouldn't be surprised, right? Zixao Li Shu sneered coldly after seeing through my trick. Then the feet tightly locked around my waist. Dijiali, you are really naive. Your transformation potion and charm are all made by me. I am the creator. How could I possibly be affected by your charm and seduction? The next moment, I was pinned down by her. Just enough for me to carefully check the condition of the charm bone when it's activated. After the investigation, Zixao Li Shu only then discovered the divine imprint on my body has been completely corroded by the charm bone. But in her impression, Master is clearly the incarnation of a holy angel, immune to all evil magic. Even if the mana is severely depleted, there will still be traces of the Archangel's gecko on the body. It's impossible for complete corrosion to occur. At present, there is only one possibility, that the high-ranking sanctuary is in trouble. So the connection between the Master and the Archangel was completely severed. Along with the Angel's protection and mana disappeared together. But as long as the god is still here, I can continue the investigation. What exactly happened at the high-ranking sanctuary? Thinking of this, Zixao Li Shu realized who was being pressed underneath. I am trembling non-stop at this moment. She asked anxiously, "What's wrong with you? You wicked woman selling medicine. You're immune directly. I've been enduring internal attacks all along." In the blink of an eye, I uncontrollably pushed her down underneath me. Unexpectedly, within the hall on the first floor, an adventurer walked in. The man brought back the Slime King, planning to sell it the next day. As a result, after feeling the charm of the bones, it instantly became excited. It directly broke through the iron cage and rushed upwards. In the shock of the front desk guy, it broke through the ceiling. The next moment, appeared in front of me and Zixao Li Shu. Oh my god, what is this thing? The disgusting Slime King is heading towards me and handed me a small flower of mucus. Li Shu laughed at me trembling and said, "This is the Slime King. She seems to be proposing to you. The strongest man in the world is now being crushed by a slime and in danger. What's most hateful is, my disciple is just standing by and watching." Inside the temple at this moment, the Noon anxiously pushes open the door. The Grand Archmage. Oh no. Inside the town's inn, a Slime King suddenly went into a frenzy. The innkeeper came to the temple to request support. Upon hearing this, Dingy Lan was stunned on the spot. How could the Slime King suddenly go berserk for no reason? Naishi, on the other hand, showed a mocking smile. "My dear junior sister, don't you understand? What could cause such a commotion? Apart from Master's charm, who else can do it?" I was stunned and covered my body. "Stinky medicine seller, are you mistaken? She and I are not even the same race. How is this medicine supposed to be?" The next second, the Slime King seemed to understand something. Unexpectedly, directly turned into the appearance of a muscular slime man. I cowered in the corner, shivering and shouting, "Don't mess around. I have no interest in you at all." Unexpectedly, the Slime King had a look of understanding. then transformed again into the appearance of a sexy loli. "Oh my goodness, you stinky slime. Get away from me quickly. Hurry up and save me, medicine seller." Zixao Lishu glanced at me when he heard the words. "I already warned you earlier. Don't transform randomly. If you go too far with your demon hunting, I'm afraid you'll seduce the entire town. Haven't you suffered enough living on Naxi's side?" I struggled and turned my head. "By the way, how do you know Naxi? We haven't met many times, have we?" Zixao Lishu suddenly realized he had almost been exposed. Hastily grabbed the plug next to me and handed it to me. "Don't talk so much nonsense. If we don't block it soon, it will be too late." I looked straight at the wooden plug and asked, "What's being blocked? What are you trying to do?" Zixao Lishu smirked mischievously. "Of course, it's to block both ends. It's not about whether you're mistaken or not. Why would I do such a thing?" Zixao Lishu then explained, "Slimes are asexual creatures. They will soon suffocate you with their mucus, then forcibly control you until you completely lose your resistance. They will then sow the seeds of life into your body. Within an hour, countless slime babies will be born. Now is the time to hurry. We can still make it." Suddenly, a terrifying fire erupted outside the town. The entire roof of the Power Hotel erupted with strength. All were burned to ashes in an instant. "My darling, Master, I finally found you. I didn't expect you to have such a leisurely and elegant demeanor, actually entangled with a slime." Zixao Lishu hasn't reacted yet, was then held down by a hand. Hoshino Ran condensed a holy spell, then directly patted into Zixao Lishu's body. A burst of white mist dispersed. The art of transformation was also lifted at this moment. The woman of a different race. "What do you want to do to Master?" Shihi and Hoshino Ran thought they could successfully ambush Zixao Lishu, but unexpectedly, they were also entangled by the mating slime king. Trapped in the entanglement, in great danger, almost becoming a breeding ground for the little slime. Hoshino Ran pushed Zixao Lishu down. "You, the illegitimate child. You almost ruined Master's reputation and the reputation of the Holy Temple. Now you dare to come back and use illusions to take away Master. You have a lot of nerve. Don't think you can play tricks again. Even if we are from the same sect, I will still kill you with my own hands." Zixao Lishu is a fool for trusting you. Master has already become like this. Neither of you thought of a solution. Instead, you've been trying to embezzle all along, yet you speak so boldly. I was covered in slime and couldn't hear what was being said outside. I couldn't hear anything outside clearly. I saw Nacy quietly approaching me. Then she forcefully put the collar around my neck. Sleepy little devil, wandering outside for 2 days already in tatters and destitute. How about coming back with me obediently and living a good life? Nacy yanked the chain, wanting to take me away while chaos ensued, but we were discovered as soon as she lifted me up. Nacy was just about to turn back and take a look. Who's the clueless guy without any insight? Zixao Lishu, approaching Hoshino Ran with a cold face. You guys from the temple are always clamoring to capture the outsiders, but not even one of you can detect her presence. Even a demon lurking by her master's side can't even notice that. Hoshino Ran furrowed her brows, suddenly thought of when Master was brought back, the strong demon aura on his body. Unexpectedly, Nazy took a step forward and directly threw down the demon slayer's sword in her hand. "Hey, don't sow discord here. I am the first disciple Master accepted. Do you have any evidence to say I am a demon ancestor?" Zilishu angrily retorted at the laughter. "Need more evidence? What are you doing to Master now? Is she your prey?" Nazy suddenly remembered being carried on the Kali's shoulders. Now, even if you have a good reason, it can't be explained. The silent slime king suddenly erupted. Its body instantly expanded to the size of a room. "You despicable humans, hurry up and put down my beastly form." Mucus attacks from all sides. Even Hoshino Ran is trapped by the blue tentacles, unable to move. Hanfan Zishishu saw the situation and chuckled lightly instead. "I almost forgot you still have some use." The furious Slanu King, planning to use everyone in the room as a warm bed, Nexi was covered in mucus. For a moment, feeling nauseous, unable to use any magic. Hoshino Ran also couldn't free her hands to cast an evolution spell. Only Shucks Ali gave me a casual glance, then firmly grabbed the Slime King's beard. Want to use me as a warm bed? Let's see if you have the ability. The dragon's bloodline erupted instantly. A dimensional blow from the race scared the Slime King to death. Shucks Ali Shu was satisfied and hugged me and walked towards the exit and threatened the Slime King to handle Hoshino Ran well. And you two senior sisters, Hoshino Ran and Nexi, can chat slowly. Master, I'll take her away first. Hoshino Ran and Nexi could only watch Shucks Ali Shu's back helplessly, slowly disappearing. Just at this moment, Hoshino Ran gave Nexi a cold glance, taking advantage of Nexi's inattention, directly reaching for her tail. Nexi, how can you really be the demon ancestor? In the end, Yoan and Nexi still couldn't save Michael. Taken away by Shucks Ali Shu, mocking is one thing, still ended up covered in Slime King's mucus from head to toe. Shucks Ali Shu used teleportation magic, directly made me disappear in the palace. Unexpectedly, this teleportation gate actually appeared at such a high position. The strongest man in the human realm fell flat on his face like a dog. Speaking of which, what kind of karma have I brought upon myself? My proud senior apprentice has actually kidnapped and imprisoned herself. And that's not all. She even carries the aura of a demon on her body. The patience she had when she was young was so gentle and lovely. How did it turn out like this? And my noble and elegant self, my amiable junior apprentice, actually used bathing as an excuse to strip me of my clothes, with a look as if she wants to devour me alive. I see, these traitors have all been brainwashed by demons, haven't they? If my powers were still at their peak, I wouldn't have let this youngest apprentice run away from home. Now I'm still being accused of being a fugitive by the temple. These disciples have been subjected to my strict education since childhood, but only Zixi Alishu, this young dragon clan member. I have always been very fond of her, but as she grew older, her demon clan traits became more and more obvious. Unable to hide, just as I was about to be born, I scolded her for using such filthy spells again, but the girl firmly retorted against me. These tentacles are quite cute though. When the master is not around, they can warm me up in place of the master. It wasn't until then that I realized even I myself abhor the spells of the demon ancestor. It's already deeply rooted. After that day, I couldn't bring up being her master anymore. The promises I should have made are the hypocrisy within my own heart. That makes me want to make up for the debt to the demon clan and compensate it all to this lonely dragon girl. In this way, it seemed that I could find a glimmer of redemption in that disaster. But the redemption I hoped for never arrived. Taught me the deeply rooted hatred towards the demon clan. However, in the end, still imposed on the innocent Li Shu, son of Xiaozi. At that time, I was already oppressed to the point of suffocation by the angelic sanctuary. Coupled with a rapid loss of mana in my body, it made me extremely upset. But for Li Shu, son of Xiaozi, I still firmly stepped forward to stop the riot. Just then, Xiaozi Li Shu grabbed my foot. The tearful eyes of the young girl seemed to be seeking comfort. When the master returns, can we go buy candy again? Because I was feeling irritated. I just anxiously urged Xiaozi Li Shu to hide at the residence of the third disciple. Completely unaware, the young girl's withered and broken heart is dimmed. After quelling the unrest, Xiaozi Li Shu seemed to have evaporated in this small town. There was no more news. I began to hate myself. I didn't give her a firm response at that moment. If only I could have smiled and agreed to her request from the beginning. If I still had my transcendent cultivation, things wouldn't be such a mess right now. Inside the sanctuary at this moment, the little Noon reported to Hoshino Ran, but they didn't find any trace of the three, including Naichi. Hoshino Ran had already anticipated this, could only angrily rush into the bathroom to wash off the filth. I really didn't expect them to run away again. And my stupid master, even Naichi's crude illusion technique, couldn't see through it. It really makes me so angry. My troubled and difficult life. Just now, I managed to break free from the chaotic battle of the three, only to stumble into the lair of an ancient dragon. And now here I am, encountering a high-ranking humanoid monster guarding the cave. I might end up losing my life here. Thinking of this, I slowly stood up and walked towards the sinister apothecary. Hey, wake up quickly, otherwise I'll be pushed back by her in a daze. Faintly hearing her muttering "don't" from her mouth, Zixao Lishu quietly turned his head and glanced at me, thinking to myself that she probably didn't see my appearance. I was stunned by the situation in front of me. What do you mean? Just an hour ago, you were getting handsy with me, and now you're trying to act all dignified. As I crawled, I caught sight of a gold coin on the ground. I was still wondering, how could this hole have such treasure? Suddenly, I saw a whole mountain of gold behind me. Do you mean to say that I'm going? Is this the secret realm left behind by the Dragon Clan? Upon hearing this, Lishu lowered his hat. Do you know this place? I was stunned for a moment before replying. Isn't there an inscription on that wall over there? As soon as the Dragon Clan was mentioned, I couldn't help but think of my former disciple. When I was young, she told me, the Dragon Clan has some extremely secretive hiding places. Only the special techniques of the Dragon Clan can enter. When I was young, her favorite thing to eat was the twisted candy in the town. Every time she was upset, I would buy her one. She would happily wag her tail around. Lishu Zixao struggled to suppress the emotional fluctuations within himself. Never thought Master still remembers these little things. But I heard her say, this secret realm seems to be under the ancient magic mirror formation. No matter what magic, it will be suppressed and unable to be cast. At this moment, Lishu Zixao is troubled by the fact that his illusion technique cannot be sustained. Thinking of this, I just realized my current form seems to be completely unaffected, and even my own personality is becoming more and more like a little girl's. I couldn't help but feel a surge of anger. I turned my head to look at that sinister apothecary. Who are you really? What do you want by bringing me to this place? To be able to produce such high-quality transformation potion, and to sneak me out from the hands of my apprentice. You wouldn't happen to be some kind of enemy with a special fetish, would you? In this way, everything makes sense. Before I could finish speaking, a piece of clothing was thrown over me. Looking at the clothing in my hand, I fell into contemplation once again. What else could this black little underwear be? I am the incarnation of the angel god, you know. How could I possibly wear something like this? Or are you just waiting for this moment to make me wear special uniforms to satisfy your fetish? You really underestimate me. I will never yield even if it means death. Before I could finish speaking, Zixao Lishu, he's already dressing me up on his own. What nonsense is he talking about over there? He should dress properly now. What if it sags in the future? Zixao Lishu for the plan to proceed smoothly. I can't reveal my identity yet. He can only whisper to me. Appearing here, it's just that my teleportation scroll had some issues. What I said about helping you restore mana is true. You might feel uneasy about a stranger, but let me tell you, it's beneficial for me if you restore your mana. Now let me protect you instead. Once this is said, I also noticed these cheesy words. Seems like I've heard them from another disciple. Little did I know that a large number of spiders had already surged nearby. An ethereal voice drifted over. Hey bro, appearing here all alone in a place like this, isn't it a bit unsafe? At these words, my pupils dilated. How can you tell my true state? Just hearing this pig girl's cold laugh. Of course, seeing through humans is not simple. After all, I have more than one pair of eyes. Even if you hide deeply, I can still see clearly. At this moment, the most nervous is Zixao Lishu, because of the person in front of him can see through me Jelly's transformation at a glance. Would you expose her identity as well? In just one sentence. Zixao Lishu is trying to hide himself, engaged in a fight with Spider Girl on the spot. But the true identity was eventually exposed. Little Spider stared at my body with increasing curiosity. Looks like a delicate loli, but actually a genuine man. And also a place where an angel once resided is peculiar. Didn't expect that. I have no privacy in front of this guy. immediately asked, "Isn't this the secret realm of the Dragon Clan?" Spider Girl burst into tears at the words. "Dragon Clan, haven't you already been driven to the extreme cold by us? It's this pile of treasures, turned into traps for me to lure prey, plus the unsolvable magic here, prohibiting all humans from trespassing here. Just like food, it keeps coming in endlessly. Now I can see clearly. Above the cave, it's densely covered with cocoons." Just then, a sharp sword edge flashed by. The spider demon couldn't dodge it. Several legs were instantly cut off, then was kicked away by Zixali, a mere transformed spider demon's lair. "If you dare to speak impudently again, I will kill you immediately." In the blink of an eye, the spider demon's wounds visibly healed. "Have you forgotten? This is my lair." The next moment, countless threads of silk poured out. Even Shuxali's shoe was tightly wrapped up. Not to mention me, a little waist with no strength at all. I saw the spider demon flash forward and knock down Shuxali's shoe, always being secretive, not wanting people to see its true appearance. "Today I must make you show your true form." This sudden wall slam made me stunned in place. Although it's from the side, I also noticed the hairstyle of this sinister pharmacist has actually changed. No wonder he entered here without a sound. If I'm not mistaken, you should be deaf. Unexpectedly, the spider demon hadn't finished speaking, lifted up my pretty face by Zixali, started chopping right in front of me. This made a pure little girl like me dumbfounded at the gardener. "What are you all doing? What time is it already?" There's still this kind of leisurely elegance. Only saw Zixali from an angle I couldn't see. Stared fiercely at the spider demon. "If you say one more word, I'll tear your mouth apart." "Got it." The spider demon got bitten on the cheek. Can only mumble no problem. It was then that I realized this wicked apothecary actually grew a tail. And it's even the kind with dragon scales. The spider demon, compromising at the same time, raised its sharp stinger again. Seeing the situation, I immediately spoke out to warn the pharmacist to be careful behind him. But the venomous stinger struck again in an instant, pierced through Shuxali's chest, then was flung away by Spider Lady's tail whip. "Ha ha ha, is this the end for you? Daring to expose your own back, nakedly in front of the enemy. Next is you, the angel's shell." Just at this moment, a cold light pierced straight at the neck of Spider Lady. Shuxali said in a cold tone, "As long as I still have breath, you won't be able to lay a finger on her." The gaze of the sinister apothecary instantly brought me back to memories. This gaze definitely belongs to Shuxali. I couldn't possibly be mistaken. The seemingly gentle and lovely green-haired little loli is actually the true Firefly Spirit Queen. She is also the most sinister and eccentric little freak among the 6 disciples. But in order to save the heavily injured Li Shu, I had to grit my teeth and walk into Wendy's domain. After leaving the cave, night has fallen. The penetrating wound in Uncle Shuxali's abdomen has stopped bleeding, but the breath became weaker and weaker. I gently stroked this tender face. No matter what, she's just a young dragon girl who has just come of age. In order to save my master and get myself injured so badly. Fortunately, there are many herbs in this broken place. The wound has stopped bleeding for now. I'll find a good place to treat it properly tomorrow. Just then, Li Shu in my arms suddenly let out a soft sigh. Then she leaned towards me, muttering in a daze if it's too cold. I was caught off guard and pushed to the ground by her, saying it's cold at this time. Could it be that the wound is infected? I'm afraid to touch her wound. Can only temporarily let her manipulate. Finally, Li Shu slowly regained consciousness. Suddenly remembered my own situation in the secret realm, constantly hinting at my own identity, and just now seemed to have mumbled a few words in a daze. Master shouldn't be completely exposed now, right? I looked at Li Shu's anxious and nervous appearance. Plus, during this period of time, always deliberately hiding himself. I'm afraid this kid will lose control when suddenly exposed and hurt himself again. Hurt myself again. Can only pretend to know nothing. Pushing Li Shu away. You, the medicine seller. If you wake up, don't stick so close to me. We still have a lot of things to do. Seeing me always preparing herbs, pretending not to mention his own identity. Li Shu could only nervously ask in a trembling voice. "Don't you recognize me?" I dipped the freshly crushed medicine, gently applied it to Zixao Li Shu's wound. "Aren't you the unscrupulous apothecary who deceived me? But you do look quite similar to one of my disciples. Almost made me mistake you for someone else. Come to think of it, if it weren't for me, that disciple wouldn't have run away from home." Zixao Li Shu felt a ripple in his heart at the words. "It wasn't because of you that the disciple left. If it was you who raised the disciple personally, you would definitely understand the master's difficulties. Moreover, perhaps as her master, you are also her only relative, right? For a grown-up disciple to leave without a word, it might also be because she discovered something that she had to do." I stared at this sensible, heartbreaking girl in front of me, sighed, and then handed over the twisted candy I had just made secretly. "My silly disciple likes this kind of candy made from plants the most. You look so much like my disciple. She probably likes it too. It won't hurt after eating it obediently." Seeing my unusual appearance, Zixao Li Shu has already confirmed that I have discovered her identity, just didn't speak out to expose it, just like when we were kids, doing naughty things behind her back with my senior sister. She clearly knows everything, but never really exposed it, just silently tidying up the mess. I gently touched Zixao Li Shu's blushing cheeks, neither wanting to be exposed by me, yet hinting at her own identity, just like when we were kids after all. "You said you would help me restore my magic, right? I'll be counting on you from now on." Suddenly, a sharp pain shattered the peaceful moment. Zixao Li Shu clutched her abdomen, wearing a pained expression. I bent down, only to realize the herbs couldn't contain such a severe wound. "Zixao Li Shu needs treatment immediately." The young girl trembled as she looked at me. "Let's go to Wendy's place. Her forest is the closest to the secret realm. Now Naxi and Hoshino Ran both want to catch us. It's the only relatively safe place." Little did they know, Wendy on the other side has already received communication from Hoshino Ran, telling her to keep an eye on Zixao Li Shu, a naturally charming little loli by her side. Wendy's expression turned into an elusive smirk at the words. "Only I know that this disciple is a truly terrifying pest." Zixao Li Shu, the mastermind, took the risk of exposure to shield me from the poison stingers. Even after being seriously injured, he still protects me without fail. This gaze confirms the person in front of me is indeed my youngest disciple, Zixao Li Shu. The next moment, Zixao Li Shu was grabbed by the spider monster's neck. "You're a waste who can't even protect your own kind. What qualifications do you have to threaten me here now?" Coincidentally, I haven't tasted the flavor of dragon meat yet. At this moment, the spider monster heard a roar, turned around, watching my disciple being injured like this. My eyes are already bloodshot. Furious, the spider monster let go of the dying Zixao Li Shu, then looked at me with a bloodthirsty face. Said, "I will kill her now. What can you do? A useless person like me dares to talk big." At this moment, I'm seething with anger, but all I can do is watch helplessly. Why is it that at a time like this, I can't even protect my youngest disciple? I watch as Li Shu trembles and crawls forward. The spider monster's words are true. Right now, I'm just a useless person. I can't even break free from the spider silk on my body. The next moment, Zixao Li Shu actually threw the long sword in front of me. Seeing this, the spider monster grabbed Zixao Li Shu's hair and pulled her down to the ground and pressed her to the ground. Then I heard her weakly say, "My blood." It's only at this moment that I remember. The blood of the dragon clan can suppress the abilities of any race. Now, the sword stained with dragon blood is the last chance. I almost forgot for a moment. This world is not just about magic. I suddenly leaned back, cutting off the spider silk that bound me. Even if this body is weakly entangled, to what extent? My profound experience as a master swordsman, not going to dissipate. The spider monster looks at me. Just a cold smile. She doesn't think, what can this waste of mine change? I can lose everything at home, but only hurting my disciple is something I won't allow. Absolutely not allowed. The next moment, I grip the hilt and charge forward, as long as my belief remains unshaken. Even if I'm the weakest, I can easily defeat you. A cold sword aura swept across the spider monster's neck. Blood gushed out immediately. Perhaps the spider monster couldn't believe it even in death, that I was the one who took away her happiness. From the moment she didn't look at me directly, perhaps this ending was already destined. I stepped forward, gently touching this face that I haven't seen in a long time. It's really you, my youngest disciple, Li Shu. At this moment, the spider group, which had lost its leader, suddenly surged forward. I swung my long sword, making a piercing sound through the air. The mere lowly demon still dared to approach. Just one step forward, and I will wipe out your entire clan. The spider group was instantly scattered in fear. I supported the fainted disciple Li Shu, searching for an exit in the deep cave. My youngest disciple, how many more secrets are you hiding from me? The eternal queen of firefly spirits, Wendy. Turns out she's a proud and arrogant little cream puff lolly, clearly not wanting to face this stubborn and despicable young man. But in order to save the injured Li Shu, I can only resort to this plan. Although she is the supreme of the elf clan, she is like an uncontrollable perverted nympho. Li Shu has been comforting me that everything is fine, but these memories always make me feel uneasy. Just then, a gentle voice came into my ears. Junior sister, you've finally come. After saying that, Wendy even turned towards my direction. He gave me an indescribable look. Damn. What's up with this little devil? I hope he didn't notice me. I saw Wendy holding Li Shu's hand. What happened? How did I get hurt so carelessly? I hope this wound doesn't get infected. Li Shu exchanged pleasantries for a while. Just remembered to introduce my identity. This is a good friend I just met. Before I could finish speaking, several elf maids rushed up to support Li Shu. You can rest assured, I have arranged the best treatment plan for you. As for your little devil companion, I will also take good care of him for you. Finished speaking, Zixao Li Shu was carried away by the elves with a bewildered look on his face, leaving me alone in the wind, feeling disheveled. I asked with a puzzled look, is this process a bit too fast? I always feel something's not quite right. When he chuckled and looked at me, saying, you little brat, do you understand? This is sisterly love. The next moment, I was pulled up by Wendy and ran away. I saw her looking at me with a strange look, up and down, sizing me up. Little brat, come with me. Next, I will personally arrange your accommodation. This annoying look, at one point, it made me suspect if she had already found out. Just at this moment, a carriage rushed past me. Based on my understanding of the elf race, this arrangement should be for a wedding. Thinking about this, I asked Queen Wendy, is this for the Elf King? Is there going to be a wedding? Wendy hesitantly replied, I suppose so. But in my heart, I sighed in dismay. She actually found out. The mysterious elf race will form a marriage through a magical contract. As long as they make a vow under the divine tree, their souls will be bound together by magic, even if there were deep grudges between them before. Later, they will be madly infatuated with each other due to the activation of the magical contract. And, moreover, the birth of the elf race is also nurtured by the divine tree. So same-sex marriage is also reasonable. Wendy smirked and led me into a bedroom. Then she swung a leg over the door railing. Curious, she asked me, what's the relationship between you and my junior sister at home? Are you two a couple? I wonder. I almost spat out a mouthful of old blood. Your Highness, you're really joking. As you see it, I'm just a little girl. Wendy took out a secret report and slowly read it. Lately, but I've been receiving messages from senior sister and second sister, saying that I should pay close attention to Zixao, the little girl next to the courtesy. Since you are not an important person to Zixao Li Shu, then I can hand you over without any hesitation. This news is simply a bolt from the blue. The next second, I didn't care about any dignity. I just knelt down directly. Your Majesty, please be generous and take me in. I hope to be under your protection here. Emperor Wen heard the words. He gave me a condescending look and stared at me. You little rascal, what's the use of keeping you around? You have to show some value at least. I don't keep idle people around here. With that, Wendy slowly took off his shoes. Today, to welcome both of you. My feet have been cramped in high heels all day. Come on, let me see how you can handle it. I looked bewildered at the development of the situation. Wendy showed no mercy and kicked me without hesitation. What a little minnow. Let this queen really feel your worth. Delicate cream puff. The little devil finally got punished. After I gave her a good lesson, she could only helplessly plead for mercy. The arrogant attitude just now has turned into a skull. I saw Wendy sitting on the edge of the bed, treading on high with her feet, just thinking that I still have to conceal my identity now. Under the fence, can only let this unruly rebel trample on my dignity at will. An inexplicable surge in my heart. The old man's sourness as he lowered his head in grievance. Wendy looked down at me with a mocking gaze like a predator. What's wrong? Haven't figured out how to serve yet. Bow to my every whim, you little devil. Are you feeling shy? You foolish little brat. How dare you have thoughts about your master? You're going to have to accept punishment for this. If you want to receive my protection, you must devote your body and soul to me. I really didn't expect. Wendy, this rebel, has already become so audacious. Compared to Nancy, it's all about the same. The next second, suddenly, several vines appeared on the ground and entangled me. You little rascal, do you really think this is your own home? Come if you want to come. Leave if you want to leave. Considering Wendy's current state, I can't even imagine what kind of outrageous things she will do. The next second, she actually had a look of charity on her face. Took out her own personal fatso, without any hesitation, humiliating my last bit of dignity. One after another, useless. It's like wanting to completely shatter my soul, thinking about how weak and powerless I am now. Can't even protect the people I want to protect by my side. I finally couldn't help but grab Wendy's hand. And the shocked look of the little devil furiously said during this time, I've had enough of this continuous humiliation. What I hate the most is being called a useless waste by others. Today, I'm going to show you the master's authority. Clean up the bad influence in the sect. Wendy was suddenly scared and screamed. These are just my catchphrases. Why do your eyes look so terrifying? These disciples have followed me for quite a few years. Naturally, I know each disciple's weaknesses like the back of my hand. At this moment, the proud and haughty look on Wendy's face has completely disappeared. I could only weakly ask what I wanted to do. I grabbed Wendy's foot and smirked evilly. Of course, to serve our elven queen well. After saying that, I exerted all my strength and fiercely tickled the sole of her foot. In an instant, Wendy felt the strength in her body being drained away, as if she was being sucked dry. A painful and itchy sensation on the soles of her feet, continuously spreading upward along her calves. The next second she showed a look of panic, pleading with me continuously not to attack the solace of her feet anymore. At this, the force in my hand seemed to have worsened the injury instead. Wendy gritted her teeth and crawled towards the door, afraid that she might not make it through the day. I grabbed the waist of this little devil and dragged her back forcibly. Your Majesty, where do you think you're going? My massage service isn't over yet. The next moment, a desperate cry for help echoed throughout the entire castle. The maid responsible for guarding outside the door heard the sound but dared not go in, because just before this, Wendy specifically instructed her, no matter what happens, no matter what she hears, don't go in and disturb her mood. It's not that Wendy has cried like a little kitten. Looking at my exhausted and soundly sleeping figure, I just felt a wave of fear afterwards. Damn it, senior sister. How dare second senior sister lie to me? Didn't we agree? Is she a powerless little girl? Pressed the solace of my feet until I couldn't feel them. Can you tell my weakness? You really are a tsundere. Puff Pastry disciple actually discovered my identity, still leveraging her authority as the queen of the spirits, restrained me within the palace, planning to do inappropriate things to my delicate body. After a fierce battle, Wendy signaled to the personal guard at the door and relayed a few instructions. I woke up in a daze at this point. I have no idea when this little rascal appeared. Did you notice my distraction? Just as I was distracted, Wendy suddenly pounced in front of me. Darn it, when did you show up? Why no movement at all? Wendy immediately captured my hands, then revealed, A high and mighty expression, sneaking around in my room, looking all over the place. Are you trying to escape? You just finished bullying someone, didn't you? And now you want to run away. If you do that, I'll be sad. I got angry at Wendy's behavior. What are you bullying for? It's clearly your own fault. But this little brat suddenly plopped down on top of me and looked serious. Tell me, what's your background? Why did it attract the pursuit of my senior sisters? And right at this critical moment, my master has disappeared. When Wendy asked like that, I felt a little guilty instead. I could only explain that I didn't know those people at all. And then I suddenly remembered something at home. So I won't disturb Her Majesty the Queen anymore. If there's nothing else, I'll leave first. Unexpectedly, this naughty little devil sat on top of me, but not a single movement. At this moment, I suddenly felt a strange touch. But when I turned around, I found there was actually a pure white undergarment on the ground. Wendy covered my mouth with a mischievous smile on her face. If you want to escape, you should see if Her Majesty the Queen agrees or not. This palace, you can call to the heavens, but there's no response. You can call to the earth, but it won't answer. There's no point in continuing to conceal it. You should also confess to me, right? You're so stubborn. Looks like I need to give you some punishment. Since that's the case, I won't be polite. I hope you can bear it. Seeing this, I can only grit my teeth and endure. This traitor really has no bottom line. I can't hold on like this anymore. Just at this moment, Wendy's little hand suddenly touched something familiar. She didn't care about my crying and fussing on the bed, staring straight at the wind chime in her hand. There is only one of this thing in the world. It was the precious gift that Wendy had given to her master many years ago. Seeing the smile on Wendy's face, her expression gradually turned wicked. Are you not going to admit it even if you're bitten to death? This is exactly what Her Majesty the Queen wanted. The next second, Wendy smirked and made a victory sign towards me. There was still some strange substance on her hand. I looked at the jar on the bedside table. It smelled like some dubious unknown liquid. I can only argue with Wendy in a wretched manner. I already said, I don't even know who this Denyi Lan Naishi Lishu is. I just happened to meet her on the road and accompanied her. Upon hearing this, Wendy looked at me with a speechless expression. This is a self-incriminating statement. The name sounds so familiar. But just then, Wendy pulled the blanket and stepped back. Let's go. It seems like you really have nothing to stop me. Then let's leave it at that. Time for Betty bye. Looking at my shocked expression, Wendy smirked and said, Still not sleeping? Are you feeling unsatisfied? I was so scared that I turned away directly. I didn't dare to say another word. Stopping the bleeding, Zizi was planning to come find me with a smile on his face. Unexpectedly, but was stopped by the guard at the door on the grounds of not yet being healed. And it was Wendy herself who issued the order. Zili Shu faintly sensed something unusual. It was supposed to be the safest palace, but now it's guarded by so many soldiers. While on the other side, there's a secret report about avoiding the wind. They were sent to Naishi and Hoshino Ran's residence. The poisonous cream puff lily demon, after learning that I am the master, instead became even more rampant, imposing what can and cannot be done onto the weak me. After that night, Wendy suddenly settled down. The ministers in the palace discussed matters for a whole day. Could it be? Is this little brat really thinking of me? If I could temporarily avoid Hoshino Ran and Nazi, it's not impossible to yield to others. I've heard of the magic of the elf tribe. It can purify all magic. I wonder if it can remove the charm on me. The next morning, feeling a heavy oppression in my chest, Wendy, who was having sweet dreams, actually mistook me for a bun and started chopping away. A shocking sensation jolted me awake. Only then did I realize that this detestable flirtatious little devil had actually slept with me. Seeing my intense reaction, Wendy, on the other hand, had an evil grin and said last night, we were both stumbling. Why are you still so shy? After saying that, shamelessly continued to lie on my chest. Isn't it to prevent Denyi Lan and Naishi from being wild, suddenly attacking at night? It's been so long since we last met. Can't you show some affection for our master-disciple relationship? Hearing this, I was instantly dumbfounded. Immediately asked what the master-disciple relationship is. Wendy was in a daze and then realized she had let slip. I looked at the little brat with a guilty look. Suddenly awakened, she really did discover my identity. According to her personality, it's also impossible for her to do such a thing to a strange little girl. Wendy grinned and said, "What's this little brat thinking?" "I was just thinking of becoming your master, Grandma." With that, she stopped speaking. Without saying a word, she pulled me towards the palace. It seemed like the situation was about to become impossible to hide. Wendy thought that she needed to speed up the plan. Little did she know that a few years later, the castle would become even more mysterious. Seeing my naive appearance, Wendy immediately started introducing everything here. The newly built medicinal hot spring here can quickly restore a person's physical strength. The special thing is that if a couple enters here, then even if they stumble all day long, they won't feel tired. The next second, Wendy picked up a fluffy coat from somewhere. Her expression also became wicked. This kind of fruit contains a large amount of lubricating moisture. It is used when the two people are practicing together. Perfect match. Just the thought of it almost made me want to escape on the spot. Suddenly, Wendy pulled out a red fruit. It's real. I almost forgot to introduce my favorite fruit. I really love its taste, and it's also an excellent material for brewing wine, because it contains a large amount of sugar. If you were to hold one in your mouth while kissing, the tips of our tongues would feel an irresistible sweetness. At these words, I couldn't help but shudder. This annoying little brat. Doesn't she realize the nonsense she's spouting? Seeing her still trying to promote it, I immediately waved my hand to interrupt her. I heard that there's a magic that can erase all magic in your area. Is it true? Upon hearing this, Wendy immediately started examining me from head to toe. Are you implying something with that, you little rascal? Are you really so curious about the sacred tree we use for marriage? I won't hide it from you. This queen can help you escape from the pursuit. It's related to the sacred tree. The apprentice of the cream puff lolly, pretending to help me escape from the pursuit, but leading me into a private hot spring pool and taking the opportunity to drug and knock me out on the spot, taking advantage of the deserted surroundings, planning to do something inappropriate to my delicate body. Upon hearing Wendy say that she can help me completely get rid of it, the other two disciples are now deep in the tiger's den, can only resort to desperate measures. So I weakly asked, "This shouldn't be your way of asking a young girl to sell her body, right?" Wendy smirked mischievously and then replied, "Who knows? There's no time to lose. Let's start preparing right away. Go on." Wendy reached out her little hand and gestured towards the maid standing behind her, waiting for instructions. The elf maid, upon receiving the instructions, "Let's start the training plan right away." The two of us followed the forest and brought me to a deserted hot spring. Without hesitation, Wendy immediately took off her clothes. "Little one, you two, before we start, let's relax a bit. A sauna might help clear our minds. Right now, I'm curled up in the corner, feeling like a lamb waiting to be slaughtered." Wendy chuckled mischievously, steaming in the sauna. "But it's the highest hospitality of our elven tribe. Don't you have any respect for me, you little rascal? I spent all last night discussing things for you. Hurry up and relax with me. Just savor the moment." The sensation of sweating profusely in the steam room. My intuition tells me there's something really off about this little rascal. She's very likely trying to trick me into taking off my clothes and then inspect the marks on my body, just like the others. Once bitten, twice shy. I won't be fooled by you all again this time. Little did Wendy care whether I took off my clothes or not. She was just sitting on the rock by herself, spilling a bunch of strange liquid. The next moment, the liquid was on the scorching hot spring stone, and it evaporated into steam. Suddenly, Wendy wrapped her arm around my shoulder. "This little rascal is really something. We haven't even started anything yet. You're blushing like that." The steam's effect immediately took hold. In an instant, I felt a surge of heat in my body. Wendy leaned in and said, "What's wrong? little rascal. What's happening? If you're feeling weak, she said. I can help you undress, she offered, sensing that something was amiss. I was about to leave immediately, but Wendy was already prepared. She immediately caught my foot. What am I really trying to escape from? This is just the beginning. After saying that, Wendy poured a puddle of liquid towards the stone. This time, the dizziness felt even stronger. My head was getting unbearably hot. I immediately collapsed with weak legs. Wendy looked at me fainting. This idiot master. Just follow along obediently with a single dose. I knew you wouldn't take off your clothes at the police station long ago. Such a high temperature, greatly increasing the speed at which the potion takes effect. No one could withstand it, no matter who it is. Just obediently go to sleep. After 2 more days, you will forever be mine. You've been neglecting me for so long. Now I want everything back from you. At this moment, a secret letter was urgently sent into the city. Urgently delivered to the city. The young Noon saw the contents. Immediately ran towards the palace. Shinji Lan nervously took the envelope in the dead of night. The throbbing in her heart immediately became fervent. This annoying little imp clearly could communicate using magic, but insisted on sending a letter instead. On the other side, Nancy, lying on the bed, also received the same letter. Treated the girl as a disciple. This annoying little cream puff demon is clinging to me. Actually managed to knock me out. Then directly prepared for the wedding ceremony. 2 days later, inside the Elven Castle, Li Shu was still trapped in the Heavenly Palace. Little did he know that a familiar figure was quietly approaching. Shinji Lan actually found Li Shu bathing. A frost spell in front of me instantly gathered in Shinji Lan's hands. Majestic cold air seems to turn the entire palace into an ice sculpture. You despicable thief. Didn't expect that, did you? We meet again so soon. This time, I won't let you escape again. Hand over the little girl immediately, considering we are from the same sect. I won't spare you, Zixao Li Shu asked coldly. How did you find your way here? Suddenly, a dark purple magic array appeared. Nexi actually appeared in Zixao Li's bathroom. You fool, really dull-witted. This stinky woman found you as soon as she came in. Clearly it was prearranged, although Zixao Li Shu had already sensed it earlier, but still asked incredulously, could it be that Wendy betrayed me? Nexi pinned Zixao Li Shu against the wall. You have to believe it even if you don't believe it. As long as you obediently hand over the little girl, everything will be fine. Suddenly, a chain flew rapidly towards this direction. In an instant, Nexi was trapped in place. Wow, you and Nexi actually dared to follow me, Wendy said angrily to Nexi. What do you mean by following? I also received a letter from Wendy. Honestly, I feel like you're a big idiot. You brainless fool. Hurry up and let go of me. At this moment, Zixao Li hesitated and said, You don't think that? It's strange that you're drowsy only when you're in my hands, right? The two of them immediately started arguing. Otherwise, why would we care about you? Just then, Li Shu said after being arranged by Wendy for treatment. I haven't seen the drowsy guy for several days. The two wooden heads suddenly reacted. Isn't this an attempt to capture us all at once? At this point, several tender shoots suddenly emerged from the ground. The next second, the guardian value of the elven tribe suddenly sprouted vines, wrapping the inside and outside of this room. Entrance, instantly being hung upside down by the wildly spreading branches. Shinjailan explained at this point, this defense is immune to both magic and physical attacks. Once activated, without the corresponding potion, there is no escape. Zixao Li Shu gritted his teeth. 10,000 doubts arose in his heart. What is Wendy's senior sister doing this for? At this time, the guards downstairs reported the situation on the Heavenly Palace side to Wendy. Only heard Wendy chuckle. These senior sisters finally fell for it. This time, no one can come to hinder me again. I've waited for so long. The day has finally come. Wake up quickly. Feeling sleepy, little devil. It's time to attend our wedding. Here it comes. This is the most hopeful episode for Cream Puff Little Devil. The three most powerful senior sisters. All were trapped in the Heavenly Palace by the protection of the elves. Various wedding ceremonies are also ready. At this moment, I felt groggy. I just felt a soft touch on my face, only to open my eyes and find Wendy lying beside me, talking about marriage. The next second, I sat up suddenly. What marriage? Who's getting married? Wendy immediately reached out her hand and intertwined her fingers with mine. Of course, it's the two of us. Under the divine tree, we will make an unbreakable vow to plunder and unite in a sacred oath. At this moment, my mind feels blank, a complete blank. I should be in the sauna. What does this stinky brat want to do? Or is this another attempt to test my identity? Thinking of this, I pushed Wendy Island away. Your Majesty, there's no need to test me again. I've said it before, haven't I? I'm definitely not some kind of admirer. Wendy chuckled at my words. Of course I know that. It's because you are not my master. That's why I want to marry you. If it's a master, wouldn't that violate ethics? The scene of the wedding now has been arranged according to the highest standards of the Elven clan. The host and the celebration scene were carefully selected by me. Now I realize, this stinky little brat is actually serious. It scared me so much that my legs went weak. Trembling, I said, we've only known each other for a few days. You, as the queen of the Elven clan, how could you do this? If we really got married, it seems like exposing our identities wouldn't be that important. Immediately, I loudly confessed to Wendy that I am McCarley. I am your master, so we can't get married. Wendy looked at me anxiously. Instead, she became excited. Who was just saying that earlier? Moreover, my master is clearly a tall man of 8 feet. What's the big deal with you? You little brat. A girl should be responsible for what she says. If you really were my master, I wouldn't be able to marry you. Let's hurry and go. Even if you don't like me now, after the baptism of the God tree, you will only love me. Wendy led me into the heart of the most sacred part of the forest tribe, the God tree. At this moment, Wendy's little hand was tightly holding mine. She had already fallen for me at our first meeting. Just confirmed that I'm lost. No doubt at home. I slept for 2 days. Still in 8 days. Wendy really hit the jackpot this time. These stupid senior sisters actually just handed the clue to me, who actively came to me at the most vulnerable moment to fulfill the wish of being with Master. I can only reluctantly accept your courtesy. The 2 senior sisters must be clever, but were misled by their own cleverness. In a little while, Master will become a master who only loves me. At this moment, the MC announced, the wedding ceremony of Her Majesty the Queen officially begins. In the end, I asked Wendy softly, why must you marry me? Upon hearing these words, Wendy unexpectedly changed her previous arrogant expression. The 3 people in the heavenly palace, the guardian was firmly trapped in place. At this moment, Shinji Lang panicked and said to Li Shu, you were closest to Emperor Wen when you were young. Do you know, she has feelings for her master. Besides the master-disciple relationship, do you have any other feelings for her? Zixao Li Shu, after being betrayed by Emperor Wen, secretly felt sad for a long time. Now still being tied up stark naked. In the heavenly palace, Nexi knows, Emperor Wen, this stinky little brat, definitely not just joking around, must quickly break free from the restraints. Thinking about the always arrogant and mischievous stinky little brat, Wendy actually had such a pitiful childhood. The Demon Clan's war ignited Wendy's childhood home. The girl could only watch as her father, the king, mother, and brother died tragically before her eyes one by one. The God Tree was ignited. The villagers of the elf tribe had nowhere to escape in the disaster. As the last royal bloodline of the elf tribe, she could only watch helplessly. The girl hoped someone would come to rescue her, save her people. Just then, perhaps the 7th party really worked. An angel cloaked in holy light protected her underneath, personally tore apart the remnants of the Demon Clan's warfire. Finally, at the girl's request, became Michael's disciple. Also successfully repaired the homeland, ascended to the throne of the Elven tribe. The girl finally realized Master unexpectedly took in so many good-looking female disciples. She was unwilling to accept just a simple master-disciple relationship. It's not that simple between master and disciple. So she frantically sought attention in front of the man. But what can she do? In Mike Kelly's eyes, these actions turned into a desperate attempt to show love. Not only did she not get understanding, but also faced even harsher education. Finally turned into a normal master-disciple relationship. From that moment on, Wendy was determined to plan a wedding. Didn't expect this day to come so soon. Things are progressing so smoothly. Sleepy little devil, eat this sweet little fruit with me. Let the tendrils of mistletoe engrave an indelible magical contract on us. From now on, you belong to me and me alone. The sleepy little devil looked at the tendrils extending downward. I suddenly remembered, since the tendrils come from this divine tree, perhaps the potion on me can be erased. Then I can take the opportunity to escape. Wouldn't that be beautiful? At this moment, a familiar figure suddenly walked through the crowd. Hey, you two little rascals. What are you sneaking around here for? If I'm not mistaken, is this the setup for the wedding ceremony? What's going on, junior sister? You got married and didn't even bother to inform your senior sister? And you, the little brat who was supposed to become my slave, is now dozing off and still dares to do such a thing. Nancy lightly flicked and threw Wendy into the sky. Fortunately, the divine tree quickly spread out and accurately caught Wendy. Nancy's face gradually darkened. You tricked me into the side palace, letting your broken vine wrist entangle me so that you can enjoy your meal alone here. Wendy now saw the newcomer clearly. Seeing the plan being disrupted, could only tremulously ask, "How did you end up here?" Nancy smirked at the words. You fool, have you forgotten Wendy's dragon lineage? This broken vine can't withstand the power of the dragon after all. Nancy looked at Uncle Lee approaching. I didn't even bother. Let's go. The sleepy little ghost should go back and be my slave properly. Hoshino Rand's stinky iceberg face is probably still in the side palace. Incompetent rage. Just then, a hand firmly grasped Nancy's. Nancy saw the blue person. I can't help but make a comment. How did you even get out? Hoshino Rand said fiercely. As long as I'm here, no one can take the sleepy little ghost away. The scene immediately turned into chaos. It looked like the three of them were about to start a fight. Suddenly the vines from the divine tree tied me up. The next moment, I suddenly pulled upwards. More and more vines gathered together, gradually entwining around my limbs, finally wrapping me up into a ball. The power of mighty evolution. For a moment, it wiped out all my clothes. The inexhaustible power was continuously drawn away by the divine tree. Has it finally arrived? The mighty and powerful body of a man. My power erupted uncontrollably once again. A magnificent charm, instantly corroding the rationality of three disciples. I had just regained my manly aura, immediately turning back to soft and delicate, a fragile appearance that could be shattered with a puff. Wendy watched the chaotic scene with dismay, immediately ordered the guards to start evacuating the crowd. Puff little devil, I thought there was only a simple illusion on me. Now it seems it should be some impure thing, attracting the power of the evolution of the divine tree. As long as the divine tree removes the curse on Master and cleanses it, she is about to return to her original appearance. Before the crowd could react, a powerful magic wave swept through. For lascivious disciples were unable to dodge and were instantly thrown out. The next second, the sacred breath unique to the angel descended upon the king of the elven forest. Wendy, who had been knocked down, staring intently at the dissipating smoke at the moment. I glanced in the direction of the gaze. The python-like lower body was lying down. Why did it change back? Why is it dressed like this? That's not right. Change back, you rebels. Close your eyes quickly. Master is currently not properly dressed. Inconvenient to meet people. The terrifying scene that has been fantasized countless times in my mind. Sure enough, it happened. These treacherous rebels with evil intentions absolutely want to devour me completely. After a month's time, Nancy felt numb all over again after seeing me, lying on the ground, panting heavily without stopping. In this way, the task assigned by my father finally found a solution. After the success of the matter, I must be with my master every second after it's done. Since everything has been completely exposed, I then face my four disciples, confess my secret. To my surprise, these rebels showed no sign of astonishment. still drooling and staring at me. Suddenly, Hoshino Ran knelt down and kowtowed. Said the disciple had offended before. Please forgive the disciple, master. Neisei behind me immediately saw through it. This hypocritical look seems to be planning to make a move. Sure enough, the two of them tacitly gathered magical power. Wendy looked at me with a wicked smile and said, Master, this appearance of yours. Wearing a wedding dress doesn't look good, does it? I was still wondering what they were whispering about. The next second, Neisei suddenly pounced on me. Before I could react, she had already firmly locked me in place. Wendy and Hoshino Ran rushed over at full speed upon seeing the situation. This naughty little brat wrapped around my thigh. I managed to. Senior sister, hurry up and go up. Cut off the connection between Master and the God Tree. Hoshino Ran quickly condensed a frosty short sword in her hand. With a sharp sound, the vines were instantly severed. Nashi saw the situation. He laughed and said, This recovery speed is too slow. Why don't we help her out? Then Nashi lightly breathed hot air in my ear and said, Master, this appearance, when I bully others, I do feel guilty. Ding Yoan is, at this time, still said with justice and awe, I'm doing this for the safety of my master. This is really outrageous. No matter how I shout, these three traitors act as if they haven't heard anything. The three of them simultaneously infused magic into the curse mark on my abdomen. Are you all crazy? If you infuse magic into me at this time, something bad will happen. The already stretched dress finally completely shattered. Oh no, I'm starting to feel strange. A strong enchanting aura, quickly spreading through the air. Neisei's rationality was quickly eroded by the enchanting aura. I suddenly remembered that I shouldn't rush to infuse magic. Hoshino Ran breathed heavily. The restless feeling inside me completely tore apart. Regained my senses. 3 disciples of the 7 Masters' seductive sect, completely immersed in the enchanting aura, suddenly became jealous of each other, competing to be the first to show up. Hoshino Ran, who has always been calm, has triggered some strange attribute. Wendy belongs to the high-level elf race, have a certain resistance to charm, but the innate charm is absolutely controlling, has begun to erode, seeing the carefully arranged wedding ruin into a mess. The fragrant and soft little sleepyhead became a turbulent big sleepyhead. Wendy suddenly felt a rush of heat in her brain, buried her face in the surging waves. The effect of the rib began to take effect. Wendy just felt, this must be the grace bestowed upon her by God. Such a stimulating double experience, carrying an indescribable charm, making people wish to be sent directly to the bridal chamber now. Nyang Ning Jong Jong. Wendy hugged my thigh with one hand, sucked in a mouthful of almost dripping saliva, thinking that it's time to start the final ceremony of the wedding. Suddenly Wendy sensed something was wrong. That annoying senior sister has long been enchanted and fascinated by the charm, and Hoshino Ran is also one step ahead to snatch the feng shui treasure land. Wendy hugged me with one hand, pulled away from the two of us. You bastards, how dare you do this in front of me? Don't you have eyes? Today is the wedding of me and the sleepy little ghost. Nancy covered her chest, tremblingly said, Idiot, haven't you noticed that something's not right with yourself lately? It's all because the natural charm of the sleepy little ghost has been activated. Wendy heard this and suddenly woke up. Indeed, I am slowly approaching the state of the sleepy little ghost. But the natural charm, isn't it the imprint passed down from the succubus queen's lineage? Could it be? Has the master been soaked by the wicked woman, the succubus queen? Is he already drenched? Little did I know, the other me on the other side has already started begging desperately. In consideration of our master-disciple relationship, please spare me. If you continue to stimulate me, I will really go crazy. The two traitors heard this and their eyes lit up instantly. This is the time to negotiate ownership. But Nacy was one step ahead and immediately rushed up, interlocking fingers with me. Master, just come with me obediently. Disciple, I take back what I said before. As long as Master can obediently stay by my side, it's enough. In that aspect, do you want to attack or do you want to defend? I'll listen to you. In either case, don't hesitate anymore. Okay, I hear Nancy's conditions. The two renegades' pretty faces were already tinged with a hint of blush. Next, it's about who has the lower limit. Without another word, Winnie threw herself into my arms. Without saying a word, Winnie threw herself into my arms. Master, what Winnie said about marriage before was just a joke. The elven forest is so big. Are you going to stay here and keep me company? Winnie will take care of you in the gentlest way possible, not letting you suffer any grievances. If you want to, in any corner of the palace, you can do your homework. This annoying little cream puff brat, surely still up to no good. Suddenly a soft knee pillow leaned against my back. Master, feeling sleepy, why don't you come back to the temple with me? That's the safest place. Disciple will try every method to help you regain your power. Then you won't have to fear being chased by those bad people anymore. I wish I could offer more than just words. This appearance clearly shows an intention to stop my recovery. Suddenly, Hoshino Ram blushed and leaned close to my ear. Do you know, the disciple's magic can make things big or small. Doing homework like this will definitely feel more engaging. I immediately blurted out to lines of classical Chinese opera. Are you trying to make me look like a pervert? Hoshino Ran mistakenly thought that was all there was to it. I'm still unsatisfied. With that said, she had already begun to fantasize about taking me for herself. After that, the dangerous scene of doing whatever she wanted every day. The three of them almost begged, leaning down in front of me, forcing me to make a choice. Nancy smirked, feeling like she was bound to win. Hoshino Ran, still immersed in her own unbearable fantasies. Winnie made up her mind. After the master chose her, she must be sent to the bridal chamber immediately.